Hi and welcome to another Python calculator designed using a for loop. So let me show you guys how this works. Supposing I say 7 multiplied by 6 there. Let's divide that by 3 and let's add something to it. Okay, let's use plus minus. There we go. Clear. Alright, let's find the square root of this. Okay, plus minus, let's add something to that. Okay, and let's check out that and see if that works. The decimal place works. Multiply that by 6. There we go. So what I'm going to do now is take you guys straight into Python development environment, and we put one of these together using a for loop to generate the number pads right here. So let's do that now, guys. Okay guys, let's start by importing tk inner and make sure all is imported. We also import the math operators as well, and let's say class, let's say cal there, and in there I'm going to define function in there, and that is going to be initialized as follows. So it's going to be self there, and enter a column there. Now the next thing I want to do is I'm now going to say self, let me go for dot arithmetic operator. So operator, right, equals, there's nothing in there for now. Then the next thing I would like to do, let's say self dot result, and the results this time is going to be false for now. Okay, now the other declaration I'm going to implement, we include, let's say check sum, check whatever value you have in there, sum, let's say that equals false for now. And what else do we need? Let's go for total, where I'm going to store all my, okay, then total for now is 0, and let's say the current value that is equals nothing. What about input? And input value that equals true. Right. So okay, now that is completed for my definition, let me declare something for the whole application itself, or for the whole calculator itself. So that's going to be add value. This variable is going to be for calc. Okay, now let's say root, that's the program itself, equals tk, and this tk will give it a name. Let's say root dot title. I'm gonna make that calculator. Yeah, calculator. So that will be calculator. Okay, let me go for root dot resizable. I want to say no to that. Resizable, that equals false, and for the height is going to be equals false as well. Height equals false. Close that. And what else do I need? Let's create another variable here, because I'm going to need a frame. Let's do that. going to say calc equals frame, and this frame is within the root, and let's just say calc dot grade there. So calc dot grade. Now the next thing I want to do now is let's see if I have actually created a frame here. So but before that we need to say root dot main. I like it to loop. Right, so let's go to file, save. I'm going to save it as calculator underscore for loop, because the buttons will be created using for loop. I'll just save it straight on mine. Yeah, I think I have a Python folder here somewhere. Let's save it in there. Save. Okay, let's run it and see what's going to happen. And this resizable is going to cause a problem, because look at it, resizable is 4. So for now let me comment that out and run it again, then you see what I'm talking about. There we go, that's my calculator frame ready. So close that. Now the next thing I would like to do is let me create the entry, the text area. So right below here, let's move this up a little bit. Right below here I'm going to say txt display. That is the name of my text area. Txt display equals entry. Entry is the object that will create the text box. Then let's say calc. I want it to be reside or to be resident inside the calc itself. And my font, let's define my font as well. Okay. Even before the definition of this font, let's try this out alone and just see. And right underneath here I'm going to specify that would be for the grade equals roll equals 0 and comma column equals 0 as well. Okay, then I would like it to actually span across 4 buttons. Span equals 4 comma, and let's pad it by 1. There we go. And the next thing is any value in there, dot insert equals 0. And let's see what's going to happen. So I'm going to save that for now before I enter all the properties for this text box. Let's just run it and see what's going to happen. There we go. Look at the text box right there. You see that, guys? So you can enter whatever you want to enter in there. But let's change all of these attributes and make it more presentable. Font. Let me go for area, and there, that is equals, let's make it 20 bold. Right, 20 bold. Right, let's, I think, yeah, that's it. There should be another comma here. Now let's run it again and see what's going to happen. There we go. You see the improvement have been made now. Okay, I would like to justify it right. So to justify it right, what I would like to do is right here I'm going to enter, first thing first, let me enter my back color. I like this color, so it's going to be back color equals powdered, powder blue. Right, that's my color there defined, and let's say the border around it is 20, comma, then the width, let me specify a width. I'm going to make that 28, and let's justify the text. We make that right there. Okay, I think I may have set all the properties how I want it to look like. So let's see what I've done so far. There we go. So that's how I want it. So that's fine. Now the button. In the case of the button, I intend to declare a variable I'll call number pad. There, number pad in this case equals, let's see how the number pad on our keyboard works. It's 7, 8, 9, then we have 4, 5, 6, 1, 2, 3. That is my number pad. Now I declare another variable for I, and my buttons is going to be known as btn. Let's bring this up. So btn equals the following array. Okay, inside this array, let me first of all, let's declare, use a for loop for j equals, okay, j in the range of, I'm going to say 2 to 5 because I'll be adding something else right on top. Then let's say btn dot append the following, and the following object is button, and this button I would like it to be inside my calc variable there, and the width of this button, let's make it 6. The height for the button, let's make that 2. Yeah, so I'm going to close that. We can also add some, yeah, let's add some of these components to it. So I'm just going to copy this. I'm going to copy that and paste that right here. There we go. And we can even add color to it as well. Copy that and paste that there. Let's change this to 2, and the text that I want is going to be text equals number pad, this very one, number pad, on each button. Number pad equals whatever I have inside my array. There we go. Right, now the next thing I'd like to do is to arrange them on a row and a column. So let's say button I dot grid, and this grid is going to be in a row. The row is J because that is J right here. Let's move this up so that you can see it. The row is J. What about the column itself? The column itself, that means I'm going to have to create a column for it. In the case of column, let's call that Q. So let me copy all of this, copy that and just paste that here, and that means I will have to indent this one, indent, and So the column is going to be 2, 3, 4. That's 4. That's 3. 2. Then this one will be 3 as well. P is going to be, no, let's say Q is going to be 3. Alright. So if you guys are following, this one will be 3, 4, and 5, and this one will be 1, 2, and 3. So column is going to be Q, sorry. Column equals Q right there, and let's give the padding equals 1. Close that. Now the next thing I want to do is, let's say I itself, I plus equals 1. So let it loop around. Yeah. Okay. Let's see what we've done so far. I think maybe I should break this down so that you guys can see the whole lines of codes. Okay, let me just come in here, save and run. There we go. Okay, you see that? These are the buttons. However, nothing is happening right now. You see, it makes life a little bit more easier using a for loop. However, the one I created earlier shows you how to create more buttons. Now, the next thing we want to do is, let's create the operators, the arithmetic operator buttons. Okay, as you can see, I've started my variable here. If you guys noticed, I started that with 2 to 5. I can always start it as 1 to 4. If I run it, the same thing will happen. Okay, but the problem I'm going to have is because I want some other operators up here on top of the number part, so that's going to be an issue. And maybe we can even change the design around, get rid of the color inside the button itself, and the other operators will have the color. So I can copy all of this for now. Let me copy this, copy that, and the color that I have in here, I'm going to get rid of it. I don't want no color on the number part, so move this one back to where it was. So if we run it, this is how our calculator is going to look like there. So close that. Now let's create the very first button. But first thing first, let me put a break in there, put another break in here, and the operator, for the operators, I'm going to start by saying as follows: button 0. Button 0 equals object button there, and it's right in here. The text content on button 0 is going to be 0, so let's change that to 0 there. Okay, so let's move this here. That is button 0 taken care of, but we need to find a grid, a location for the button 0. So I'm going to copy all of this and just paste it right there. And this, I'm going to change this to, let's say, column 1, and this is 0 there. If I run this program now, you see this very button 0 will be on top of 7, and that is my reason for moving 7 down a little bit. So let's move the buttons, down. So the first thing is to come in here and change this one to start at row number 25. Okay, if we run it now, 0 will be right on top There we go. Okay, but I don't want 0 right there. I want 0 to be right underneath. Alright, so I'm going to copy this. Let's break this into 2 so that you guys can see the codes. So in here, break this down. I'm going to copy these, and right on top, this is what I want. Let's move button 0 below anyway. Paste that, and I'm going to paste another one. So this is going to be button CE, clear entry. This one is going to be button clear, side by side. Alright, now this is 1 0, and this is going to be 1 1, column 1. What do we have in here? That is going to be CE, and this one is just going to be C. Why this will be in row number 5. Okay, I guess you guys are following. Let's break it down so that you can see it. Let's add one more button. This one more button is going to be, paste that in there. We will call this square root. Square root. Okay, for the square root, you can always copy that inside Word document. Okay, for the square root symbol, I'm going to go into Word and go to Insert. Now we need a symbol right there. Click on symbol, and let's see, right there, that's it. I'm just going to say, okay, I'm going to accept that. Just copy that square, copy it, minimize this, and paste it right in here. There we go. That's taken care of. Now the other one I want to create will be for the addition. Paste that in there. This will be odd. In the case of odd, I will end up using ASCII character here. Let's say char equals 43. That is the plus sign. Taken care of. Right. Now let's position them accordingly. That is 1. That's 0, 1. This will be 2, 3. There. This is 5. That's fine. So if I run it now, this is what, or this is how it's going to look like, the calculator. Let's see. There we go, guys. Look at that. Okay, we're missing the plus. Let's come in and see why is the plus not there. In the case of the plus, oh no, that is wrong. That should have been 1, 3 here. Okay, let's run it again and see that. There we go. Okay.